I feel like it's kind of generic media will say stuff like, oh, you circle a date on the calendar. But this is kind of a big game, right? Especially when you think about the last time these teams met.
Yeah, it's fun to playing for the first time since last year. Yeah, I thought our series last year was, it's an awesome experience for all of us. Obviously, it was tough not coming on the winning end, but it was a cool experience for all of us. That was a part of that. So it'll just be fun to get a good game tonight.
From an individual perspective, you were one of the best players on the Amherst in that series against Hershey. What do you remember and take away personally from that experience?
Just probably like the toughest stretch of games. I think personally that I played. I think for a lot of like a lot of us on the team too. Like there was it was tough games to play. So I think you can take some learning lessons away from that, and kind of knowing that you can, I guess, perform the best in tough scenarios and tough games, and that's what you want to do. Ultimately win the playoffs. So I think games like that you want to be the best.
You talk about tough play and tough stretches. Obviously, the results have not been there the last 2 weeks or so for this team, but a lot of the guys have said they feel like they are playing in the right way. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think it's a long season, a lot of games, a lot of ups and downs. So even though you're going through kind of a rough stretch result-wise, you kind of want to take away positive things from those two and kind of build on it because you never know what's going to happen down the stretch. So I think if we can take something positive out of a loss here and there and attach or like learn from it, I think it's going to benefit us in the long run.
When you talk about like taking positives out of this, is that something you've learned now that you've been with the Amherst for a few years and been at the pro level for a little bit?
Yeah, I think it takes time, experience. Like I said, it's long years, so you want to make sure as a player that you kind of control I guess, the ups and downs throughout the year because there definitely will be some for all players. So I think that's something that I've kind of not learned, but I've kind of realized and taken things away from even the bad games you might have here and there. Just to make sure that you're a player that the coaches and the players can rely on, even though you might be going through a tough stretch.
Have you noticed at all late, like you guys are heavily out shooting your opponents? This has been going on for 4 or 5 games here. Earlier in the year, it wasn't that way. Have you taken notice to that? Has that been by design?
I mean, we mainly talked about being more of I guess, better defensively in the past month or so. But again, I think taking away some positives from that, I think we've been creating a lot of scoring chances, but obviously we haven't been scoring as much as we did in the start. So I think kind of going back to a little bit that series last year, we scored goals, and I guess not the ordinary way where it was a clean shot or it was a clean breakaway or line rush or whatever it might have been. It was just more, I guess, fluke plays that kind of end up in the back of the net. So I think that's something we gotta keep working on and keep focusing on to score more goals here.
Absent just said the thing that's really changed in these last few weeks is everybody has kind of tightened up defensively, and so those goals off the rush are a lot more far and few. So for someone like yourself or Weissbach who's been a line mate with you for more of the season, like what do you guys have to do differently to try and produce more goals?
I think like again bringing it back to that series, I think what we did well was we kind of won the blue paint battle at both ends of the ice. We were doing it well defensively, and then we ended up scoring goals, like I said, around the net. And I think that's something that, as an individual, you can kind of focus on more, I guess, in the games and taking the pucks there. And if the puck isn't there, you can go there as as a body. So I think that's something that a lot of players on this team can kind of develop and keep doing.